Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. A couple of months ago, I asked you all to send me in some questions so we can do a Q&A. And yes, I realized it wasn't a couple months ago. It was about 7 or 8 months ago. I'm really behind and I do apologize for that. But a lot of these questions that came in, I thought they'd be really good to read all together and do a video on it instead of just answering personally, because I think they would be more helpful to a lot more people. Anyways, so we're gonna attempt to do that today. Go ahead and grab yourself a tasty little beverage, whatever you choose, and let's dive into this bad boy, huh? Oh, I made that one a little bit too strong. Alright, so you're gonna see me refer to my phone. I have all the questions and notes on here. The reason why I have that is because some YouTubers might actually acknowledge this. For some reason, whenever you get in front of the camera, all thoughts on what you're talking about just kind of... So it's nice to have that reference to go back to. Oh, also, I'm not going to list anyone's name unless they say it's okay, so... Question 1. Aren't you afraid of showing your face on camera and stacking precious metals? Good question. No, I'm not. I don't keep a whole lot of precious metals within my residence. If anything, I mean, it's very, very few. On top of that, I don't just diversify my portfolio, I diversify where I store my precious metals. So where I live is in a different county from my P.O. box, or my P.O. box was. Where I work is from a different county from both of those locations, and where my precious metals are stored is an entirely different location from that. So all 4 of those locations separate, and yeah, so I'm not too worried about anyone finding me. And if there is a unfortunate soul that decides that my house is the best one to break into, I have various, I have to be cautious what I say here, boom sticks to dissuade them. Also a very ferocious velociraptor named Minerva who really loves to chomp down on things. Alright, this one comes from an email. Why do you film your unboxings? So on this channel I used to do a lot of unboxing videos, and I would film every single one of them, and I just end up posting it onto YouTube. The primary function of filming my unboxings was not for YouTube or to show off to people. It is a CYA, and I found it to be very useful in all sorts of areas, not just precious metals. That way, if there's like anything askew, anything wrong with whatever I was receiving, it's all there on camera, and it doesn't look like I have fudged with it or am doing a wrongful claim or something to that effect. So anyways, this that's the reason why I've done unboxing videos, or filmed all my unboxings. And I don't do unboxing videos anymore just because it doesn't seem to be that popular of a topic, particularly on my channel. I'm sure other channels, you know, other people love to see that sort of thing, but for my channel, my audience doesn't seem to gravitate towards those videos. And that's fine. If you guys want to see more unboxing videos, I'm happy to show you. I got a few complaints from some people saying that I was bragging or that I was just showing off. I can assure you that was not the case at all. What you see on camera is a fraction of what I'm pulling in. So I'm not one of those channels that's like, here's my entire stack and showing off everything there. I'd just like to show what I think you might like to see, or some issues that I came across, like for instance the germanium mint order that I got from Monument Metals, and the issue that I had with the post office at that time. That wasn't to brag about what I was pulling in. That wasn't to brag at the kilos that I purchased. That was just to show off like the issues that I had with the post office, and how grateful I am that none of that was stolen. This one is from Keith. Do you have any other hobbies besides coins, gold, and silver? Yes, I do, Keith. I love the boom boom sticks, pew pews. And if it wasn't for YouTube's anti-Second Amendment stance, I would be doing that channel instead of this one. My knowledge on that topic is far greater than the economy, gold and silver, coin collecting, and while that is a really nice hobby of mine, the pew pews are much more fun and something I know a lot more about. Okay, so I'm reading these as they're sent, so I apologize. Okay, retired early. I'm a prepper. I have prepped everything, even bundles of cash, but gold and silver. My thing is, do I get coins like John Wick or both just bars? Do I buy all at once or just a little at a time? Because I prep, I buy bulk, I have pallets of ammo, food, gas. I don't want the government to find out that I bought gold and silver. It will be a long haul for my 6 children. I was planning on using 1/3 of my retirement to buy metals. One other thing, I've already answered all of these people individually, but as I was answering, I'm like, well, this would be a great topic for a video, and so I asked them, do you mind if I share this? All of that is a great question, and I get that a lot from new stackers. What should I do? I can count probably like 5 separate people who've asked me that type of question. I have all this cash, what do I do with it in terms of gold and silver? I don't tell people what to do. I tell people what I would do if I was in their situation. Since you mentioned having bundles of cash, what I would not do is I would not buy everything at once. Dealers are required to report purchases over $10,000 made within a 24-hour period. So if anything, I would buy from like a local coin shop, also known as an LCS. Pawn shops are good too, as long as it's reputable. And I would spend under that limit each and every time that you go, and I would space it out. Maybe do one purchase 1 month, another purchase another month. If you're that desperate to like build a stack and you have to buy it all at once, you do you, but just make sure you're putting like 1 or 2 days in between each purchase so that you're underneath that reporting limit. That way the government, well, according to the IRS reportings for LCSs, you're going to be under that limit. In terms of what to buy, I would not go with John Wick coins or anything that has a decent premium to it. I would stick with constitutional silver. This is also known as junk silver, and it's pre-1965 dimes, quarters, half dollars, and dollars. They're all made with 90% silver, 10% copper. And all those are great for prepping. All those are great for barter. There's some people starting to come out saying that silver will not be used for that and it will only be gold. I disagree. Silver's been used as money, as bartering for the last 5,000 years. I don't see that changing just because some new person to stacking decides that's not the case. For gold, I would stick with, this person told me that they lived in America, so I would stick with American Gold Eagles and American Gold Buffaloes. Yes, they do have a very high premium to them, but they're also extremely liquid. If you had to sell, you could easily get rid of them, and while you might not get rid of them for the price that you want, you can still get rid of them. I have seen a lot of people buy Krugerrands and other, let's say, bars, gold bars, and they try to sell them and they put them at melt or spot, and people don't want to buy them, especially during the low gold demand period. And then also gold and silver, they're not really loved at this time. The prices are down substantially from almost a year ago, so now I feel is a great time to buy either metal. Silver, I have a feeling, might go down a bit more, but gold, I think, is kind of like in that sweet spot. I'm seeing some central banks actually starting to pick up buying again, when they said they weren't going to start buying until about $1,500 an ounce. So at this price, I would say that this is a good time to accumulate gold and silver. Oh, and then my last point that I made to him was I would only buy from reputable sources. I've mentioned a few LCSs that I buy from. Avenue Coin in Stockton, fantastic across the board. The other one, Royal Coins Houston, they're in Houston, Texas, also premium. One more, VA Premier Pawn, they're in Virginia, excellent. I've sent them cash, and you can just like put it in an envelope, put the bills in between each page, send it priority, and it, you know, if someone were to open it, it's just a magazine or whatever. And that's how you can get some, you can send money, and that's how you can get some precious metals sent back to you. But all three of these places use, not only do they have experience, but they use very, very expensive machines to test metals that they buy off the street and that they get. So if they're getting some sort of precious metal and they're not sure what it is, these machines check it. And no, I'm not talking about Sigmas. Sigmas are nice for the common stacker. I think the high-end one's about $1,500, $1,300, somewhere around there. But those can be fooled. I've seen a silver-plated like kilo. It had like a decent amount of silver in it, but it was still mostly zinc and copper, and that fooled the machine. I've seen it fooled with gold. It really depends on the type of shop and the type of machine that you're using. Some of the cheaper shops are going to use Sigmas, and some of the more well-to-do shops are going to use those $25,000 machines that actually analyzes, x-rays the metal, and that's what you want. You want them to be checking the metal to make sure that what you're buying is actually gold or silver or even platinum. I would stay away from eBay purchases. There's a lot of fakes on eBay. There's a lot of scams on eBay. I would stay away from Craigslist as much as possible. Also scams. You will find deals on there. I'm not saying that you can't, because somebody always comments, I got this with my eBay bucks, and I saved you know, so much money, and I found this super rare coin. Well, that's very rare. It's not a common occurrence. And for a new stacker or new collector, just stay away from it, because you're going to save yourself a lot of heartache and headache in the long run. But back to what I was saying, any of those three shops, they are excellent. Just let them know I sent you. I don't get any kickback from them, but they like to hear who referred them, and they'll treat you right, I promise. All right, if you had to choose between gold or silver to start stacking, which would you choose? I'm assuming that you haven't started stacking. I don't know what your stacking situation is, but, and that's a difficult question too. Given everything that's going on, I would start stacking gold, because a lot of people who are stacking silver would claim that it has a lot of upside, a lot of potential, and that's all true, but we have not seen that potential realized yet. And the end goal for stacking silver is so that you can trade it when it reaches its high for gold. So why not just skip all that and get some gold? Like I said, I feel that you need both. So don't just start with one and stay with one. Get some silver too, but first off, get yourself some gold. And I don't hate silver. I have done so many videos on how silver is better than gold, and it is. Most of the time, gold just sits there. It looks pretty. Silver has a lot of industrial uses, and unfortunately, silver has moved from a monetary metal to an industrial metal. And that means that it's going to be used as an industrial metal. And so until industry picks up and starts using it in huge gobs, the price of it will not rise dramatically. Right? I mean, I know that they're finding less silver. There's less pure silver mines out there. And in fact, what is being mined is just a byproduct of mining for other metals. So they are, but there's no like really huge big silver mines out there. I think there might be like 3 or 4, but most of the silver mine today is just a byproduct of mining for other metals. So please don't get me wrong, I'm not crapping on silver. Start off with gold, just get some gold, and then once you have a nice base of gold going, then move on to some other metals. Okay, so I'm withholding this person's name because he emailed me directly. Hi, I wanted to reach out and tell you how much I enjoy your videos. I am learning so much about stacking and have decided to start stacking 1/10 of an ounce American Gold Eagles. My plan is to stack a tube of 20 and then move on to a tube of 20 1/4 ounce American Gold Eagles. Pardon me. I would like to know what you think about my strategy. I am semi-retired and I will have to start off with small but steady purchases. I also would like to know the best place to purchase. Thank you for your time and videos. That is very thoughtful. Thank you so much. First of all, congrats on starting your stacking journey. I really like your idea of steady purchases because most of the time people go whole hog. They're buying out way more than they need at the moment. They're overextending themselves. They're pushing past their budgets at FOMO or fear of not having enough. Don't do that. Steady purchases all the time wins 100% of the time. I've mentioned this in probably 2 or 3 videos. I think it's a good idea to have fractional gold in your stack. I actually think it's a great idea. But based on the premiums and everything else, I would try to get 1 ounce gold pieces as much as possible, instead of going for 20 1/10 of an ounce and 20 1/4 ounce. Maybe just do one tube of 20 1/10 of an ounce or 1 tube of 1/4 ounce. I'm doing a tube of 1/4 ounce because I like the size. I don't like 1/10 of an ounce. I find it to be too small. But 1/4 ounce has a nice hefty weight to it. I can still see the image of the coin, and it's still very, very liquid. When you have 1/10 of an ounce, 1/10 of an ounce is very liquid too, but there's a very high premium to it, and I just find 1/4 ounce to be better. Sorry about that, my camera just conked out. So back to what I was saying, I think it's a good idea to have fractional gold, but I would just do one of the tubes, not both, and maybe do 2 to 3 ounces of fractional gold, then just do 1 ounce. Stick with 1 ounce gold. Premium's cheaper, it's a nice hefty chunk of metal, and 1 ounce gold is still very small. So stick with that, and I think you'll do just fine. Oh, I forgot to mention, the reason why you want to have fractional gold, at least for me, I like to have some fractional gold there that I can sell if I needed to for an emergency. But if you have that much gold, I'm assuming you have some cash on hand, so you won't have to sell it. So that's what I'm kind of saying, like just get a little bit of fractional and then the rest of it just 1 ounce and you'll be fine. The fractional gold is really nice because it is so liquid that you can sell it just like that, and you don't have to sell off a whole 1 ounce coin if you needed $1,000. You can just sell 2 1/4 ounce and you would meet what you needed instead of having to split up your 1 coin and have a bunch of cash left over. This question I believe I answered in a couple of videos back. Is going into debt to buy gold and silver a good idea? I'm asked this question at least weekly, and I give everyone the same response. No. There's a lot of people out there who think that you can just, get a credit card with a high limit, buy a bunch of gold with it, and then declare bankruptcy or whatever. I think that's a stupid idea. I think you're hurting yourself in the long run. I mean, we do have a system that caters to that type of mentality, but just from a good person point of view, I would not recommend doing something like that. I would just, buy what you can when you can with, your checking account, cash, that sort of thing. I have used my credit card to buy precious metals. In fact, I used it just a few weeks ago. That's because Amex has stuff that I can't get anywhere else, and damn them and their peanuts because I love them. And so I buy stuff off of that, but that's paid off every single month. Also depends on your credit card interest rate. If you have a high interest rate, do not do the monthly payment. Pay that sucker off at the end of every month so you're not being charged the interest. If you have a 0 interest rate or like some sort of transferable thing, you can, use your credit card, but have the understanding that you're gonna be paying a lot more over someone who's using a wire or a check. And I think I talked about this in my video. You're paying about 6% more on top of the premium that's already there. So you're looking at 12% for, using a credit card. And people are like, oh, I get cash back with my credit card. Yeah, that's true, but the most cash back I've seen for just everyday purchases is about 1%. So you're paying 12% and then you have 1% back from that. You're still paying 11% over, what you normally would. I don't think it's a good idea. I would pay with a check. I think my Amazon card gives me 6% back, but that's only buying off Amazon. Even then, if you're buying gold or silver off Amazon, that's just as dumb as buying it off of eBay. I don't think it's a good idea. And it doesn't matter to me like what you say, like if you're using eBay bucks or something like that, it still doesn't make up for that cost. I don't recommend going into debt to buy precious metals. It's not a good idea. This is an anonymous new stacker and collector who reached out to me on Instagram. Are estate buys on eBay a good buy? How do I know which coins to collect? So this is a two-part question. Estate sales on eBay are 99.8% scams. They are terrible. You should stay away at all costs. You will always lose money buying those coins. And I'll roll some footage because I did a video on this topic when my channel was much smaller. So I'm sure a whole lot of people have not seen that. But it is a scam. Same with pretty much any roll coin sales that show like Carson City Morgans on the end, or like 1909 SVD pennies, or the Indian head pennies on the end of the coin rolls. All of those are 100% scams. For all of these, you're gonna always pay more than the value of the coins that you're gonna receive. And before someone chimes in, I understand that one can find authentic deals and estate sales. That's not the case 100% of the time. Most of the time, it's a scam, and one has to have a discerning eye to tell the difference between the two. That's why for most new stackers and collectors, you should stay the hell away from eBay because it is just a bad place. All right, that's gonna do it for me. I think you've heard me ramble on long enough. I want to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And if you celebrate some other holiday, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, have a Festivus, is that what it is? Festivus? Whatever you celebrate, whatever you're happy with, I hope you do you, and I hope you are happy doing it. People, if there is someone in your life that is alone this holiday, reach out to them. Let them know that they are not alone, and just make them feel loved. I want to thank you all for watching. I want to thank you all for liking, subscribing, leaving those comments. It's all very nice, very helpful, and I really do appreciate you more than you know. That's going to do it for me. This is Campbell's Coins, and that is my 2 cents.